San Diego Padres baseball coming up on 97.3 The Fan and the Padres Radio Network. Today the Padres take on the Atlanta Braves in Game 2 of a season-opening four-game series. Our starting pitching matchup tonight for the Braves, right-hander Reynaldo Lopez, and for the Padres, right-hander Dylan Cease. Hi, good everyone. Sam Levitt with you inside the loft at the Western Metal Building here at Petco Park. First pitch coming up at 6:40. Coming up in the next 50 minutes, we have a lot to do. We'll hear from tonight's DH, Gavin Sheets. We'll hear from tonight's starting pitcher, Dylan Cease. We'll also hear from Padres manager Mike Shildt, and we'll check in with Tony Gwynn Jr. in just a little bit on Tony Gwynn opening day, Game 2 of this 2025 season. But first, it's time to set the table. Brought to you by Fraser Farms Market. Set your table with the highest quality of natural and organic products from Fraser Farms Market, a San Diego original since 1971 with 3 locations, La Mesa, Vista, and Oceanside, and at FraserFarmsMarket.com. Well, after opening day, the Padres are 1-0. The Braves are 0-1. This series, of course, a rematch of last year's NL Wildcard Series. The Padres took the first 2 games of that best-of-3 series and moved on to the NLDS. Dylan Cease begins his second season with the Padres here tonight. He was really good after being traded to San Diego before last season. 14 wins, a 3.47 ERA, 33 starts, 224 strikeouts, and 189-plus innings. It was a great opening day at Petco Park yesterday afternoon. Let's take a quick look back.
Did you miss what happened in the last Padres game? Let's take a look back with our Padres Rewind on the Padres Radio Network.
Yesterday, the Padres trailed 1-0 in the bottom of the first inning against Chris Sale. There were 2 runners in scoring position and 2 out for Jackson Merrill.
1-2 pitch, looped into center field. That'll get down a base hit. Fernando scores to tie it. Manny's on his way. Harris's throw to the plate, kicks off the mound, not in time. A 2-run single, Jackson Merrill, and the Padres lead it 2-1.
The Padres still led 2-1, heading top 3. A runner on base for the Braves, Ozzie Albies.
2-0 pitch, and Albies hits it in the air to deep right field. Fernando's just going to turn around and watch. This one gonna go. 2-run homer, Ozzie Albies, who has now driven in all 3 Atlanta runs, and the Braves hop on top. It's 3-2.
Michael King went just 2 2/3 innings. He threw 76 pitches in his opening day start. We had a tie game in the top of the 4th. Austin Riley dug in for Atlanta.
Hard hit in the air to left center field. Lockridge backing up into the gap at the wall. It's going to go. Home run, Austin Riley. His first hit of the year is a go-ahead homer here in the 4th inning. And the Braves lead it 4-3.
Fast forward to the bottom half of the 7th inning. Padres still trailing 4-3. Gavin Sheets pinch hit his first at-bat as a Padre.
Sheets swings, sends it in the air, center field, straight away and deep. Harris is going back. He is at the wall, leaps up, and it's going to go! A home run! A home run! Pinch hit home run as Gavin Sheets ties it 4-4 here in the 7th. Welcome to San Diego.
Padres weren't done. They put runners on first and third. Luis Ariz hit a sac fly to right. That drove in the go-ahead run. Manny Machado was next.
Manny swings, grounds it fair up the third baseline. That's going to roll and roll. Fernando scores. Machado on his way to second base. It's an RBI double, his second double of the day, and the Padre lead is 6-4.
Padres would score one more, a 4-run 7th inning to take a 7-4 lead. Robert Suarez put on the finishing touch on opening day.
7-4 San Diego in the 9th. Here's the 2-1 pitch. Albee swings, grounds it to second base. Cronenworth backs up for the hop. He's got it. Throw to first is in time, and the ball game is over. Robert Suarez comes on to close it out, and a 7th inning to remember for the Padre offense as they come from behind and beat the Braves 7-4 here on opening day.
A very sweet opening day indeed. And now the Padres try to make it 2 wins in a row to begin 2025 with game 2 of this 4-game set coming up at 6:40. As we get ready for this one here at Petco Park, let's go inside the booth.
Let's take a trip up to the Padres broadcast booth for a deep dive on today's matchup with Tony Gwynn Jr. in our Padres game preview on the Padres Radio Network.
Well, Tony, we call this Tony Gwynn opening day game 2 of the season. And for a player, realistically, Tony, what is the difference between day 1 and day 2?
Well, first, nice to speak with you, Sam.
Good to talk to you, Tony.
Here's the deal. In terms of Tony Gwynn opening day,
Yes.
the difference used to be that the real fans showed up in game 2, and that probably was a lot less back in the day. The only problem with Tony Gwynn opening day now is that there really isn't that much of a difference, right? You had 45,000 last night, probably going to have the same amount of numbers. So I think my dad would feel a little bit differently about Tony Gwynn opening day because it pretty much is the same thing every day here at Petco Park.
Right. Yeah, certainly from a fan standpoint, another big crowd expected here tonight, 45,000 plus in the building yesterday. Let's talk about the baseball, Tony. Very nice game for the Padres yesterday. Offensively, what do you feel like the Padres showed?
The thing I walked away feeling about the Padre offense is that they showed everything that they did last year, and it was just a continuation of it, right? I think they did such a good job of finding opportunities to take an extra 90 or move a guy, or whether it had to get a sac fly in or a bunt or a stolen base. There was just balls in the dirt. They just did all the little things that Mike Shildt really raves about or is really at the top of his priority list during spring. And you saw what we saw a lot last year, timely hitting, guys getting on, making things happen. And doesn't matter what type of hit it is, guys find a way to get it done.
Obviously, they were very aggressive on the bases yesterday, 5 stolen bases. Tony, did you anticipate the Padres being as aggressive on the bases as they were yesterday?
I kind of did. And you know what was my tip-off is that no one ran during spring training. Like, no one. I think there was 2 bases. I think Toddy had one. I think Ariz had one. That was it. No one else was moving, and that kind of tipped me off because typically, at least last year, we saw guys moving. We saw guys running a lot. And it was almost like they were just keeping that in their pocket. Now, I will say they had some guys that they could take advantage of. Chris Sale, not a guy that typically holds runners on. You can get a good jump. They took advantage of it. They took advantage of some of the bullpens. I thought, honestly, Drake Baldwin made probably 5 or 6 of, like, perfect throws, but it didn't matter because the runners were getting such good jumps. And kudos to the Padres for taking advantage of it.
Tony, a good starting pitching matchup tonight. Dylan Cease on the mound for the Padres. Reynaldo Lopez on the mound for Atlanta. Let's focus on Dylan Cease. All spring training, one of the headlines around him. He was working on a new 2-seamer and a changeup. How do you anticipate he'll use those 2 pitches? Of course, with the 2 he's thrown the most, and that's the 4-seamer and the slider.
Listen, I think that Dylan and Martine have an idea of what they want to do, but a lot of that is predicated on what's happening on the field at that present time. I don't know that he goes in with a certain amount of changeups he wants to throw or two seamers. I think they're going to let the scoreboard and the count dictate what they're going to do. And the hitter, of course, if left-handed, right-handed. So I expect to see all of his new pitches at some point today. How much?
Yeah.
I think the game will really determine that.
Finally, Tony, Jason Hayward makes his first start as a Padre here tonight, playing left field and batting eighth. What were your impressions of Jason in spring training, and what do you feel like Jason Hayward can add to this ball club?
It's funny you asked that because I was just having this conversation down with Victor. One of the things that you have in order to really kind of piece together what guys have done in spring, you have to actually kind of watch the games. You got to kind of be there. And to each guy that was going to be in the starting lineup a lot, we saw a lot of those guys yesterday. Jay Hay is in that lineup today along with Gavin. Everybody got better as spring went along. It looked different for everybody, but I thought Jay Hay, especially the last week and a half, 2 weeks, swung the bat a lot better. He didn't necessarily have the result. Saw there was quite a few lineouts, hard hit balls. You're just hoping that he can continue that path, because I thought right at the end of the spring training, the last week, it looked like he was ready to go, just like everybody else.
All right, Tony, good stuff as always. Appreciate the time. We'll talk to you and Jesse coming up at 6:30 as we get ready for game 2 of this 4-game set. Thanks so much.
Take care, Sam.
All right, that's Tony Gwynn Jr. joining us on our EcoWater SoCal Padres pregame show here on the Padres Radio Network. When we return, we'll hear from Padres manager Mike Shildt. We'll revisit who swung the bat well yesterday and who did not. Also, a little bit later, we hear from tonight's starting pitcher, Dylan Cease, and tonight's designated hitter, Gavin Sheets, who, of course, hit that massive game-tying home run in the 7th inning yesterday. First pitch coming up at 6:40. You're listening to the Padres Radio Network. Welcome back to the EcoWater SoCal Padres pregame show. EcoWater SoCal, improving your family's water one tap at a time. Sam Levitt with you here inside the loft at the Western Metal Building at Petco Park. First pitch coming up at 6:40 in Game 2 of this 4-game series between the Padres and the Atlanta Braves. Lot to do in our pregame coverage. We'll hear from tonight's designated hitter, Gavin Sheets, who had that big moment yesterday, the pinch hit solo home run in the 7th inning to tie the game. Padres would go on to win 7-4 on opening day. Plus, we hear from Dylan Cease, tonight's starting pitcher, in just a little bit as well. Dylan Cease going up against right-hander Reynaldo Lopez on the mound tonight for Atlanta. Really good starting pitching matchup. Couple of very good right-handers going at it in Game 2 of this 4-game series. As we continue to get you ready for this one, let's go downstairs and hear from Padres manager Mike Shildt.
Let's pull up a seat in the manager's office and hear from Padres manager Mike Shildt. Served up by Sin Lee Food, where fresh meets flavor. Find farm fresh produce, bold Asian spices, and gourmet ingredients at 4665 El Cajon Boulevard. Sin Lee Food, the cook's Asian resource.
Mike, you got Dylan Cease going on the mound for you today. I would imagine it's a pretty good feeling going out there with him out there.
Yeah, really good feeling. We have the confidence in all our guys. Dylan, clearly, we feel really good when he takes the mound. Had a very good spring training and, really fired up seeing pitch tonight.
Do you think it's maybe a little underrated what he's done the last 4 years in terms of his consistency in taking the ball? I mean, he's 32-plus starts each last 4 years, which is impressive under any circumstances, especially with a power guy like he is.
Potentially underrated. Not for me. It's one of the biggest things that of many I value about Dylan, but right towards the top. This game's predicated on quality innings on the pitching side, and Dylan Cease gives you a lot of quality innings. Takes the ball, has had missed a turn, and has been really good. So, it's very important to us.
What's the anticipation with the new pitches that he's adding to the repertoire? And it seems like one might be more of a soft contact type pitch. The other is turning into more of a swing and miss pitch. Is the hope that there can be some more efficiency with it, or is it just be nasty, even nastier than he's been?
It's hard to say, being nastier, but I think we're approaching that. He's got 2 elite pitches, the 4-seamer and the slider, grayed out. But the grades are important, but the hitters tell you everything. Stuff's elite. And now, I think both of them are softer contact pitches. The changeup, he's gotten more swing and miss on, but having the ability to add, subtract off of what's pretty good velocity and then a harder slider is important. And it really looks like a pitch he's got feel for in the changeup. And then the fact that he throws a 2-seamer in and makes hitters now protect east and west and then back and forth. And, we think about pitching being a disruption of timing and getting guys off balance, adding, subtracting. Velocities, getting them back and forth and then going in and out, gets them off balance. And he's got the ability to do both with already 2 weapons he has that are elite, and Cy Young caliber is pretty amazing.
Got a pretty tough righty on the mound for them tonight, and Lopez, you stuck with Fernando in the leadoff spot. Is that something that we'll continue to see? At first we thought it might be more of a righty-lefty type thing. Apparently not.
We'll see it today.
Okay.
Yep.
Did you plan to have him lead off the second day, or was it like, hey, he looked really good yesterday, let's do it again?
I think it's something we're playing with and looking at. He looked very comfortable. Louis comfortable hitting second. It looks good, and we'll see what it looks like continuing. I think it's a good spot for him.
Obviously, he looks healthier on the bases and running more stolen base right now. Is that curtailed in any way, understanding the length of the season, or is he just kind of free reign as he goes right now?
This is a guy, we don't like to put governors on anybody. Sometimes they have to play with a little bit of governors relative to their health. These guys, as the season goes on, the regulars, all guys, regardless in that clubhouse, are dealing with something. There's an old saying that, once the season starts, you're never actually 100%. We try to keep them and be judicious in how the work looks like. But these guys go out and play, and our group loves to play. Our regulars love being in the lineup. Last year he had a little bit of governor on him, actually a big governor on him. He's playing with a stress fracture in his leg. So effectively a broken leg and still made an all-star team. Feels great, feels healthy. And, that's what we're going to see out of Fernando. He's a dynamic player.
5 stolen bags yesterday. Is that taking advantage of a rookie catcher or testing him, or is that more of we're going to see a lot more of that this year?
I think you saw it last year. I think, we take advantage of when the moments are there. And, the moments were there and guys were ready to go.
Yuki's role, yes. I mean, I don't think he had gone in 3 separate innings last season. Obviously, the circumstance necessitated that, the guys that were up. Is that something we can see more of, or is that just basically just kind of the
I think it's probably some combination. You didn't see it last year. It wasn't as much a need for it last year. Yesterday, we had a need for it. We used 7 relievers to be able to get through it. And, he was efficient. Like anytime we send guys back out, like Estrada yesterday, he's able to get through Yuki and finish an inning, get Albies, grab his next inning clean and efficiently. And it just made sense for him to be able to not only get Kalinick and then also we knew the workload that was coming for the rest of the game for our guys. So it was a good spot, not only situationally there, but also to set the other guys up.
Second game of the year, we call it Tony Gwynn opening day, got affectionate over here. Do you feel like this is kind of where the season really starts to settle in after all the pomp and circumstance and craziness of opening day?
I can see that. It starts to normalize. You start to get in the rhythm of the season. Opening day is very special, but, I like to think we treat every game the same. But, yeah, here we are, game 2, and we'll take game 2 as it comes, and then tomorrow will be game 3. And, all the circumstances will be different, and we'll just be ready to go compete and win today.
Other than Jackson Merrill being the definition of Mr. Clutch, what do you like about him in the cleanup spot?
I don't look at anything in the spots. Like Jackson started season 9th last year. He came up with big hits. Hit 8, 7, 6, 5. So, today's hitting 4. I just think guys are capable of having good at bats regardless of circumstances. Jackson's clearly been able to demonstrate that. So I don't want it. One thing I like about the modern game is we don't look at things. We look at things a little bit differently in the prototypes of like, oh, this guy's a leadoff hitter. Well, Tatis didn't lead off. He wouldn't have prototyped to be a leadoff hitter, 12, 15 years ago. This guy's a 2-hole hitter, 15 years ago, shoot the ball the other way. Now guys do damage to a hitter. Our 2-hole hitter today shoots the ball everywhere. The 4-hole hitter is your big power guy. I just think it's, gotten to a point where who's going to take good at bats regardless of the matchups and the situation.
That was Padres manager Mike Shildt earlier today down in the dugout here at Petco Park. We'll hear more from Mike on our post-game coverage coming up a little bit later on this evening. I should have mentioned the starting lineup for the Padres today against the first right-hander they'll face, and right-hander Reynaldo Lopez. And you heard some of the questioning there about the lineup, about Fernando Tatis Jr. hitting leadoff once again. Lineup tonight looks like this. Fernando Tatis Jr. in right field leading off. Luis Arraez batting second, playing first base. Manny Machado at third base, batting third. Jackson Merrill in the cleanup spot, playing center. Jake Cronenworth at second base, batting fifth. Xander Bogaerts at shortstop, batting sixth. In the seventh spot, the DH Gavin Sheets. Jason Hayward in left field, batting eighth. And Martin Maldonado doing the catching, batting ninth, with Dylan Cease on the mound. Let's quickly pause for station ID on the Padres radio network.
KWFN and KWFN HD1 San Diego.
Hi, this is Jackson Merrill. The Padres play here on 97.3 The Fan.
And Odyssey Sports Station.
Sam Levitt with you inside the loft here at the Western Metal Building at Petco Park, back here on our EcoWater SoCal Padres pregame show. This place is once again absolutely buzzing. The newly renovated loft here at the Western Metal Building. They did such a great job with this space, with the rooftop above us as well. A staircase now linking the 2 levels. It is absolutely terrific, and there are a ton of people in here already tonight enjoying their beers and their food and having a great time as we get ready for game 2 of this 4-game series coming up at 6:40. Let's tell you now who's hot, who's not.
Which player is locked in at the dish? Who needs to kick things up another notch? This is Who's Hot, Who's Not on the Padres Radio Network.
So I said yesterday when we were going over spring training stats, I said take it with a massive grain of salt, right? Well, sort of the same thing here today on Who's Hot, Who's Not, because we're looking at one game yesterday, but we will take the opportunity to highlight who hit the ball well yesterday and who did not. Fernando Tatis Jr. headlines the hot category, 3 hits and 2 runs scored yesterday on opening day. Manny Machado had 2 hits, 2 doubles, and 3 runs scored. Jackson Merrill, a 2-run single against Chris Sale, 4 RBIs on opening day. Elias Diaz, who's not starting tonight, he is on the bench tonight. Martin Maldonado getting the start. he had a couple of singles as well. Not category, Yuli Gurriel went 0 for 4. He's not in the lineup tonight. Jake Cronenworth, though, is, and he went 0 for 4 on opening day as well, albeit a pretty tough matchup against left-hander Chris Sale. And that's a look at who's hot, who's not, as we get ready for Game 2 of this 2025 season. Now let's take a quick look at headlines from around the major leagues as we go around the horn.
Let's examine the most important news and the latest information you need to know in the world of Major League Baseball. Sam Levitt takes you around the horn. Presented by Valley View Casino and Hotel. Get ready for Major League winning when you join Valley View Casino and Hotel's Players Club and receive over $200 in free instant offers. Visit valleyviewcasino.com to learn more today.
A few quick headlines for you. Diamondbacks agreeing to a 5-year, $45 million deal with right-hander Brandon Pfaadt earlier today. Deal begins next season, includes a club option for 2031. The 26-year-old had a 4.71 ERA in 32 starts last year. Rockies and the Rays began their seasons today in Tampa at George M. Steinbrenner Field, the spring training home of the New York Yankees. The Rays forced to play there this season after Hurricane Milton badly damaged Tropicana Field this past fall. Rays won that game earlier on a walk-off home run. More on that later in the out-of-town scoreboard. It was a rough day for bullpens yesterday. Nearly half the runs scored across Major League Baseball, 56 of 130 were scored in the 7th inning or later. And that's a look at some quick headlines from around the major leagues. We'll have a full look at the out-of-town scoreboard a little bit later on. When we come back, we hear from Gavin Sheets. We hear from Dylan Cease. First pitch coming up at 6:40 on the Padres Radio Network. Our EcoWater SoCal Padres pregame show continues here on the Padres Radio Network. Sam Levitt with you inside the loft here at the Western Metal Building at Petco Park. First pitch coming up at 6:40 as we get ready for the second game of this 4-game series against the Atlanta Braves. We'll hear from Gavin Sheets coming up a little bit later in this segment. We'll also hear from tonight's starting pitcher, Dylan Cease, in just a few minutes as well. Dylan Cease on the mound tonight for the Padres. Reynaldo Lopez on the mound for Atlanta. Let's update you on the latest injuries.
Who's in? Who's out? This is the Bada Fulkerson Injury Report, presented by San Diego's Bulldog Injury Attorneys, who hope you're never in an accident. But if you are, make Bada Fulkerson the first call you make. Hit them up 24/7 at badafulkerson.com.
For the Padres, right-hander Yu Darvish starting the year on the IL with right elbow inflammation. He did play a light catch at Petco Park during the team's workout on Wednesday. Sean Reynolds out of the walking boot, at least as far as a few days ago, after dealing with a stress reaction in his right foot. He's scheduled to begin his ramp-up in early April. Ryan Hoeing dealt with shoulder soreness at the start of spring training. He's playing catch and working his way back, and we'll see what the updates are on those two players over the course of the next few days as they, I'm sure, at some point begin to throw off the mound and then get into further work. Meanwhile, for the Braves, Spencer Strider expected to return in mid-April after having Tommy John surgery last year. Ronald Acuna Jr. expected to return in May as he works his way back from right ACL surgery. And finally, catcher Sean Murphy, not available for this series. He was hit by a pitch and cracked a left rib during spring training. Ouch. So he's out for this series, should return in the next few weeks. And that's a look at our injury report. Nothing new to report today. Padres naming, Padres without Yu Darvish. Obviously, Randy Vasquez will start tomorrow for the Padres. Kyle Hart will start on Monday against the Guardians. So those are some of the consequences of the Darvish injury. And again, for the Braves, Strider, Acuna, they were not expected back just yet, but the Braves without Sean Murphy. And meanwhile, doing the catching tonight instead for the Atlanta Braves, once again, the rookie Drake Baldwin behind the plate for Atlanta. Well, yesterday, Gavin Sheets had a huge moment, a pinch hit, 7th inning, solo home run to tie the game at 4. That sparked the rally. 4 runs in the 7th inning. Padres went on to win the game by a final score of 7-4. What a moment yesterday in his first at-bat as a San Diego Padre to go deep to straightaway center. I caught up with Gavin Sheets along with some other members of the media earlier today. Gavin, obviously a big moment yesterday, a night to reflect on it. How do you reflect on what you did yesterday to win that game?
Yeah, it was fun. Just a great win for the team, and come out opening day, and that's always one that you want to win, especially in front of this fan base. And fun to get a taste of the fan base from the home side, and enjoyed a lot more than on the visitor side for sure.
You mentioned the fan base, 45,000 plus in the building. It was the largest crowd ever on opening day in the history of this ballpark. What did it feel like to play in front of those fans yesterday?
It felt like it. It felt like it was the biggest crowd. I mean, it felt like a playoff atmosphere, and just a lot of fun. Just to have those guys behind us and to feed off them was a lot of fun for all of us.
Obviously, your first at-bat, first game as a San Diego Padre, but from the offensive side, it really looked very reminiscent of what this team was last year, moving the line, stringing hits together. What was your impression of sort of the offensive identity, at least through one game?
Yeah, I mean, I knew that we could swing it, and but what I saw yesterday was just the way we took extra bases, made the small plays. Just you see Manny get dirt ball read, steal third, tag up on Jackson's ball. I mean, just the small things that we did yesterday was what really stood out to me. I mean, we know the superstars we have in here, we know the way we can swing it, but just the extra bases and the way we competed was pretty cool to watch.
Probably the best Cactus League year of your career. Sure. To come out and have that first swing, does that kind of validate the stuff that you worked on during the Cactus League and that you are that player this year?
Absolutely. Obviously you want to have a big spring, and obviously for me, I needed a big spring to be in this clubhouse right now. But to see it translate to the regular season and when it really counts was special. And obviously that was a big moment in the game yesterday. And to come up there and get something going in that 7th inning was huge.
Did you do anything different, swing tweak, anything like that this year?
Yeah, we made a lot of swing tweaks. Getting here with Victor and some of the Biomech guys, and just getting to work and hearing their ideas and buying into what they were preaching. And that's a part of why I wanted to be here, to develop as a player and take my game to the next level. So seeing it develop and seeing it go into the game and obviously right into the regular season was awesome.
Anything specific to keep you sharp?
Just posture. Being more athletic at the box, getting my swing off, but just having better posture and working through the baseball better.
What's your perspective of the organization before signing with the Padres, when you're watching from the outside even last season?
Yeah, it was a place that I really wanted to be. I knew coming here and competing against these guys, just, the superstars they have in this building, but just they do things the right way, from the fan base to the player development to everything. It's a place I wanted to be, and I'm happy to be here.
Reynaldo Lopez on the mound tonight for Atlanta, very good right-hander. How do you go about preparing for a guy like that?
Yeah, we were teammates for 3 years, so obviously know him really well, and throws the ball extremely well. So it's going to be another night just like last night. We're going to be battling for extra runs and just trying to get one more than the other team. So we'll have a good game plan for him, but great pitcher and great competitor.
Are you familiar with the term Tony Gwynn opening day?
I am not. I've seen it a couple of days, but I'm interested in what that is.
Tony used to say that day 2 of the baseball season was, the diehard fans are here. This is kind of where the season really starts because opening day is such a spectacle. Do you kind of feel that way?
Yeah, no doubt.
How will the
Obviously,
Padres unlock a win
holiday,
today?
So it's obviously a huge day for everybody, and now you're into the season, and now the marathon really begins. So these are when the toughest teams survive, and these are the games that is how you get to the playoffs now.
That was Gavin Sheets, tonight's DH, batting 7th for the Padres. Gavin with a big home run in yesterday's game. He has been quite the story in spring training, and now through opening day, we'll see what he does in the starting lineup here for Game 2 of this 4-game series. Let's take a look at our keys to tonight's game.
How will the Padres unlock a win today? These are the keys to the game. Presented by El Centro Motors Ford, your new Ford truck, Bronco, and SUV HQ. Pre-qualify now for your next Ford with no credit impact, plus unbelievable savings. And we can deliver your next new Ford anywhere in San Diego. Learn more at elcentromotors.net.
Key number 1, maintain the power of the pen. The Padres bullpen yesterday was absolutely outstanding. Yuki Matsui, Jeremiah Estrada, Wandy Peralta, Jason Adam, and Robert Suarez worked a combined 5 1/3 scoreless innings. You get bullpen work like that, you're going to have a chance to win a lot of games. That's key number 1. Key number 2, we've talked about Dylan Cease's new pitches, the two-seamer, the changeup, but we know the bread and butter for Dylan is that slider. He had a 45% miss rate last season on that slider, the 3rd highest of any pitch in the major leagues. Tip of the cap to Kevin Acee in the San Diego Union Tribune had that this morning. Cease ranked 3rd in strikeouts among major league pitchers last season. So can he get hitters to chase that slider as he so often has in the past? That's key number 2. Key number 3, keep an eye on this. Run on Reynaldo. The Padres went 5 for 5 on stolen base opportunities yesterday, and tonight they face a pitcher who struggles at holding runners. Opposing teams went 20 for 21 on stolen base attempts against Brave starter Reynaldo Lopez last season. Keep an eye on that. Padres very aggressive yesterday, and today they face a guy in Lopez who gave up a lot of stolen bases a year ago. And finally, Luis Arraez. Arraez is 11 for 26 with 2 doubles in his career against Reynaldo Lopez. Arraez batting 2nd and playing first base tonight for the Padres, so keep an eye on that matchup. A key tonight, Luis Arraez against Reynaldo Lopez. And that's a look at our keys to tonight's game. Now let's take a wider look at the major leagues with the out-of-town scoreboard.
Let's take a trip around the bigs to highlight the scores that matter most with our out-of-town scoreboard. Presented by Jensen Premium Beef Patties. Always a hit for grilling.
The Rays beat the Rockies 3-2 earlier today. First game of the season for those two teams. Their opening day, it was Cameron Misner, a walk-off home run in the bottom half of the 9th inning for Tampa Bay as they beat the Rockies 3-2. Games going on right now. Blue Jays 6, Orioles 2 in the 7th inning in Toronto. Pirates and the Marlins in Miami. Pirates leading 4-1 in the 8th inning. Red Sox and the Rangers tied at 1 in the 4th inning in Arlington. Mets ahead of the Astros 3-1 in Houston in the 4th inning. Everything else coming up a little bit later on. Cubs in Arizona against the Diamondbacks at 6:40. A's and the Mariners at 6:40 in Seattle. Tigers and the Dodgers in LA at 7:10. And that is a full look at the out-of-town scoreboard on this Friday night. We'll have much more on all those games coming up a little bit later on our Jamul Casino Resort post-game show here on the Padres Radio Network. When we come back, we hear from tonight's starting pitcher, Dylan Cease, as we walk you up towards first pitch coming up at 6:40 from Petco Park on the Padres Radio Network. On top of that, he stole third base twice yesterday, the first time he had ever done that in his career. Consider this. Fernando had only 11 stolen bases and 14 attempts in 102 games last season. He's already got 2 through 1 game this season, 2 stolen bases. So why is that? Well, part of it, a big part of it, he's healthy. Remember, Fernando was dealing with a stress reaction in his right femur last season. So what am I watching for tonight and really moving forward first couple of weeks of this season? Let's see if Fernando Tatis Jr. and the Padres as a whole continue to be aggressive on the bases. The Padres stole 5 bases as a team last night. So let's see what Fernando does here tonight. That's what to watch for in game 2 of this 4-game series. Right-hander Dylan Cease on the mound for the Padres here tonight. And Dylan, we've talked about it throughout spring training, working on a couple of new pitches, one being a 2-seam fastball, the other being a bit of a faster changeup. Here was Dylan yesterday inside the Padres clubhouse on how he plans to use these new couple of pitches.
I'm not going to overdo it with them. Just, they're probably going to be more, if I had to guess, 10% type of pitches instead of, 30, 40%. But very excited to see how it plays.
It's not your first start of the season. You've been through it a few times, but still going to be a lot of butterflies, adrenaline going, something that a little easier to manage at this point in your career.
Yeah, I mean, it's, with most big league games, there's always kind of that little bit of adrenaline dump or whatever, but I look forward to it. It's definitely makes your stuff play up if you can control it.
That was Dylan Cease earlier yesterday inside the Padres clubhouse. Dylan Cease talking a little bit later about how intently he was watching opening day to gather info on the Braves lineup and their approach, what that could look like here tonight.
Yeah, I mean, that definitely plays into it. It's very hard to base things off of small sample sizes. So I think there's still probably norms, if you want to call it historical norms or whatever, that you can still follow with batters. So, we'll definitely see kind of who's looking aggressive. You never really know what the approach is coming into it. So you kind of just got to do your own research and know the tendencies.
Dylan, obviously last year, first year at the club, coming in kind of late in spring training. Now that you've been here, you're established. What are your expectations, for yourself this season? Now you're just kind of here and more with established.
I mean, my biggest thing, my number one thing is just taking the ball every 5 days. Other than that, I just want to stay focused, process oriented, and provide as much value as I absolutely can.
I think Ruben said one focus that he wanted for you was to go and get deeper in the game, which might mean less strikeouts. Has that been an easy transition for you? What's been the key?
Yeah, well, I mean, we'll have to see how everything plays out. I'm just trying to execute pitches, really. If I can get through 7 and strike everyone out, that's great. If I get through 7 and there's less strikeouts, but it's efficient and we're winning, then I'm also happy with that. So as long as the performance is good and we win, that's, even if the performance isn't great, but we win, it's still pretty good. So.
That was Dylan Cease yesterday inside the Padres clubhouse as Dylan gets ready to make his first start of the season here tonight in game 2 of this 4-game series against the Atlanta Braves. Let's take an even deeper look at our pitching matchup with our pitching preview.
Let's take a look at who's on the bump today with our starting pitching preview on the Padres Radio Network.
Right-hander Dylan Cease, as we've said, on the mound for San Diego tonight. The 29-year-old beginning his 7th major league season with this start. He struck out 224 batters in 189-plus innings last year, the highest innings total of his career. Of course, Dylan Cease grew up in Georgia. He'll face his childhood team today. Cease faced the Braves twice last season, and the 2 starts were very different. May 20th in Atlanta, he went 4 innings, 5 earned runs given up on 9 hits, so not a very good start. But then July 13th of last year in San Diego here at Petco Park, he was great. 6 scoreless innings, 1 hit allowed, and he struck out 11. Meanwhile, right-hander Reynaldo Lopez on the mound for Atlanta. The 31-year-old went 8-5, a 1.99 ERA in 135 2/3 innings last season. 108 hits given up, 148 strikeouts, and 42 walks. I mean, a 1.99 ERA. He was absolutely tremendous. Padres, though, beat him in 2 starts. When Lopez faced them last year, he gave up 5 runs on 16 hits in 12-plus combined innings across those 2 outings last season. So while Reynaldo Lopez was very, very good, Padres hit him hard in 2024. We'll find out in just a little bit if they can repeat that here in 2025. And that's a look at our good pitching matchup here tonight between Dylan Cease and Reynaldo Lopez. As always, thank you for listening to the EcoWater SoCal Padres pregame show. EcoWater SoCal, keeping it soft since 1925. Your water should be perfect. When we come back, Jesse Agler, Tony Gwynn Jr. have the full starting lineups, first pitch, and then all the play-by-play. Game 2 of this 4-game series between the Padres and the Atlanta Braves, and Game 2 of this very young 2025 season. I'll talk to you on our post-game coverage. You're listening to your home for San Diego Padres baseball, 97.3 The Fan, and the Padres Radio Network. Enjoy the game, everybody.